Welcome to Kung Fu Habit number 2. This is part 2 of the debating clusterfuck. That's probably not what I'm going to title this thing. But now that I've cussed, it can't be for children. So, I left off talking about Native Americans. I'm going to go back to that, and Asians in general. Probably about a third video. But for right now, we're going to go to the simple fact that soldiers deserve better. Alright? Soldiers deserve way better. So our vice president is the father of 2 soldiers. One is in the Navy and one is in the Marines. And our vice president touched on how proud he was of his children. But our vice president is also in denial of the shit that our current administration president has said about soldiers. And Mike Pence totally denied that shit. He totally fucking denied that shit. He tried to water down the shit that the president said about John McCain. He tried to water down shit that he said about Gold Star soldiers. Now, here's where I go back to Native Americans. He wouldn't acknowledge the fact that right in front of the freaking Apache or Lakota, whichever ones were there, the Wind Talkers, or the Code Talkers as they were called, who were Native American. I believe Wind Talkers were also Apache. He went there with Elizabeth Warren. He said, we have a Native American in the White House. We call her Pocahontas. And I don't understand. I mean, I give it to the soldier. He had great poise for an old Native American man. But, you know, it was really kind of fucked up. And for him to say that in front of Native Americans and nobody, and I mean nobody, said anything. Nobody said anything to him about this shit. I mean, nobody. And I'm like, I'm watching it. I was watching it live. So I'm like, okay. Clearly he didn't just say that on TV as he's shaking their hands. Yeah, we have a Native American in the White House. She's been there since the dawn of time. We call her Pocahontas. And I'm like, motherfucker. Dude, why did you do that? You know? And then, you know, soldiers, man. When you talk about soldiers, you have to understand something. And I want you guys to be totally understanding of what I'm about to say. Freedom ain't free. When soldiers put on those tags right there, when we put these tags on, they are to identify our corpses when we die for you. I got infantry. I didn't want infantry. I wanted military police. I wasn't that smart up here with math, so I got infantry. You know, I don't know why you have to have math to be a military man, but you got to get good at math. When you talk about something that no one in your family has done, when you talk about things like earn $1 million, say I'm the first millionaire in my family, and I didn't do it like by crooked means. Let's say I got it honestly. I won the fucking lottery. You know, let's say that happened. You know, okay. I won the lottery. Yeah, I didn't earn that $1 million. I just spent $1 and won. You know, a miracle happened. But I'm not a millionaire mogul. I'm not a millionaire businessman. But I also know that since I come from no money, that if I won $1 million, you better believe that I'm going to invest it in shit that's going to build me money versus shit that's not going to build me money. I know a lot about toys. So if I won $1 million, you best believe that I'm buying stock in Hasbro. Alright? I'm buying stock in any toy company that I can. Because as long as there's going to be children, there's going to be toys. And as long as there's going to be toys, I'm going to be paid. Alright? And I will probably invest in a martial art company. Not for me, like equipment-wise, like Macho or Atomics or some shit like that. I will buy stock in shit that's going to build me money versus buying stock in some shit that's not. I will also invest in comic books because there's always going to be comic books. There's always going to be toys. There's always going to be comics. There's always going to be kids. kids breed toys and comics. So it's going to be martial artists. Martial arts isn't dead. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be here to the end of time, whether you guys want to accept it or not. That's a whole other ballgame. And everybody's learning a martial art of some sort somewhere down the line. Alright? So I'm going to invest in shit that I know is going to build me money. I'm not going to invest in shit that I don't know. Like, I'm not going to invest in Apple. I'm not going to invest in HP. Now, let me explain that. Technology is not going anywhere either. But me investing in technology is a good way for me to get my ass kicked. Alright? Because I have a cell phone. I can barely use the motherfucker. I'm coming to you from a laptop. I can barely use the motherfucker. Alright? Why do I have these? Because society has them. Everybody and their mama has a computer or a laptop or something in some way of technology. I'm dumb. When I was younger, I never thought I would ever get a laptop. I never thought I would have two. You know, I never thought that these would ever happen. This was some shit I seen in like what the hell was the Al Capone movie? Damn it, I didn't mean to call him Al Capone. Damn it, what is his name? Damn it. Say hello to my little friend Tony Montana. What the hell is his name? The actor Al something. What the hell is his damn name? It's gonna bother me now. Now we're gonna have to do this. Now you see why I have technology. Who played Tony Montana? What the hell was the actor's name, dumbass? Oh, for God's sake, say hello to my little friend. What the hell is the actor's name? No, it was not Michael B. Jordan. Who the hell was the guy? For God's sake. Al Pacino. Sorry, Al. At least it wasn't Al Bundy. Anyway. That's why I have technology. When I don't know the answer, you go to Google. But when I was younger, these things were pipe dreams. Because I'm poor. You know. Without a doubt, I'm poor. Without question or without remorse. I'm not ashamed, but I'm poor. You know. And poor people, we dreamed of shit like this. I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm a big time Star Trek fan. But, you know, we dreamed of this shit. This was some shit that, you know, not in a million years did we think not in a million years did we think that we would ever get this far. Not growing up in the projects, struggling from meal to meal, you know, wondering if my mom ate, wondering if we're going to eat. And I'm the second of 7 kids. So, yeah, not counting the other 2 from my dad's side with his other woman at the time, which would still make me the second of 4 kids. So, there's something wrong with being number 2. Anyway, yeah, we never, ever thought we'd have the shit that we have. Like, ever. We never thought we'd get out of the projects. I mean, sometimes I wish we didn't, because then I wouldn't have all that background noise, you know, and the struggle wouldn't be as hard because the struggle is real, but the struggle wouldn't be as hard because I wouldn't have to take care of other people's responsibilities like I'm doing on a daily basis for the last 40-something years of my life. And the thing is, you know, when you're poor, you know, for some of us, Army's the way out. I have 2 uncles that went to the Navy on my mom's side, and one uncle went to the Army on my mom's side. On my dad's side, my dad has 3 brothers. We only found out about the 3rd brother after my Uncle Bruce passed. And my Uncle Robert served in the Army. So I went to the Army National Guard because I needed a job. And no matter what I tried to do, I just could not get a job. I don't have a criminal record. I don't break the law outside of a speeding ticket here or there. However, you know, I'm 5'3.5". And on sight, on first look, no one wants to give me a job because I'm short. Simple as that. No one really wants to give me a job. It's like, yeah, you know, you're kind of short. This job requires such and such. Without even seeing if I was physically able to do the task. It's like, nah, we're just going to pass them over. You know, just threw his thing in the trash can. We never got his application. We this, that, whatever. But that Army, the Army, heart's always going to be in the Army. They took me when no one else would. They took me. Granted, I'm a nasty girl, but still in the Army. And they took me when no one else would give me a fucking shot. No one. So I'm very proud of my little bit of service that I got to do. Had I not gotten hurt, had I not got discharged out of the Army because I can't shoot work shit, but had I been able to completely serve the way I wanted to serve, I'd still be in the Army now. Kung Fu Havoc number 2 would be dead. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be making any videos, none of that shit. I'd just be doing my job. And sadly, I got the worst job that you can get in the Army. The life taker. You know, because infantry. We don't ask questions. Our job is to not question why. Our job is to do or die. So, therefore, I got the worst possible job you can get in the Army because I don't want to kill anybody. However, that's what I have to do. Because infantry. Now, the thing with this is, you know, our illustrious president don't have anybody in his family serving. You know, and his kids and grandkids are going to have to do a whole lot to bring honor back to his family after the shit he's doing. But the first time that he said something about John McCain being a POW, that did it for me right there. It's like, dude, did you serve? No, you didn't. But neither did Bush, and neither did Clinton, and neither did Barack Obama. But those guys didn't say anything bad about soldiers. But Donald Trump, spoon in his mouth, he didn't serve. And he came down on soldiers. And he has said that soldiers were suckers and losers. And so if you are a soldier and you are voting for this dick, I know when you're across seas active, you can't hear everything that's going on back home, because when I was in Fort Benning, Georgia, the TV was only on 2 channels. CNN and whichever one does the sports all the time, but it wasn't ESPN, but it was something. And then, yeah, I'll never forget Brian Stoudemire. I'm sorry, because the whole time at Fort Lee, that's all they did. Stoudemire for the jam. Stoudemire. 45 minutes later, the same damn video that's been playing for 45 minutes, it started all over again. And then at midnight, when we were getting ready to get on the bus, it was a new show. Guess what? Stoudemire for the jam! It's like, oh, for God's sake. I was so glad to get on that goddamn bus to the airport that I couldn't wait to get to fucking Fort Benning, Georgia. We got off the bus at Fort Benning, Georgia. We got off the airplane. And then we had to take the rail from the airport to the main lobby. And by the time we got to Fort Benning, Georgia, it was 3 a.m. And again, down in Fort Benning, Georgia, 2 channels. The news, the local news, and CNN. That was it. Both TVs were beside each other. And as soon as the drill sergeant came in, TVs went off. And we all had to stand in attention. They took our fingernail clippers, broke the file out of them. They gave them back. They took any book that wasn't the Holy Bible, chucked it. My X-Men book and my Fantastic Four book are gone. And they were novels. They were like these, but they were thick. I was supposed to read them on the plane. So glad that I didn't get my Inferno Saga before I got to Fort Benning, Georgia, because that was $80, and I would have never got that money back. And I didn't get the money or the books back when I left. But for all medicinal purposes, as funny as that was, when you have not served, when you haven't had any family members serve, when you don't know soldiers that have died for us to get a good night's sleep, for you to get up and get your millions day after day, if you don't know soldiers who are POWs, if you don't know veterans in general, if you don't know the fact that all of us vets have some mental issues, you got no right. You got no fucking right to talk bad about soldiers. Which shames me that Mike Pence would not openly and honestly say something about that shit that he has said about McCain. And he dodged that shit. He straight dodged that shit. In fact, let's Google something just to be on the safe side so that I don't throw Mike Pence under the bus. for the shit that's about to be out of my mouth. I want to be factually correct if possible. Has Vice President Mike Pence served in the military? Let's see. Born in 1959, an American politician and attorney, served in the 48th. Current president, something, something, something. That is not the answer. Come on, Wiki. I want to know if he's ever been in the military. I don't give a flying shit about that. Okay, come on. In office, Lieutenant Sue, no. I want to know if he has served. I don't give a damn about none of this other shit. This is another reason why I don't always rely on Google like talking about it. He went to Hanover College, entering the congressional seat in 1990. Where's the early life? There we go. Early life and background. Here we go. Michael Robert Pence, 1959. All I want to know. His father served in the Army during the Korean War, received a Bronze Star. His father was in German. I don't give a damn about his dad right now. I just want to know if he has served. I know his sons are serving. But has he served? It does not say that he has served in the military. So I'm a little bit offended now. I assumed that he was a soldier. His dad was a soldier, according to Wikipedia. His dad served in the Korean War, got a Bronze Star. There's a lot of reading that I probably should have done before making this video. It does not say that he served. It just says that in his adult and early childhood, he was Roman Catholic. Something about a Democrat. He volunteered for Bartholomew County. So he started off as a Democrat and became a Republican. I don't understand how the hell that works because I don't know shit about these damn politics and I don't really give a shit. But it does not say anything about him serving in the military. Alright. So now I can speak freely unless Wikipedia is wrong, which it probably is. But alright, so Mr. Pence has not served. But he has two sons serving and his father served. I'm pretty sure his father gave him the "I serve so you don't have to serve" speech. I'm going to tell you about that speech because my uncles on my mom's side and my dad's side gave me the "I served so my kids don't have to serve" speech. It goes a little something like this. Son, when you put on these tags are yours forever. Son, when you walk out into that battlefield, there's a good chance that you are not coming home. So I'm going to take that bullet for you so that you don't have to. I will bear the pain of serving our country so that my children and their children don't have to serve unless they choose to serve. Alright? Now, I changed those words up a little bit because my uncles are cussers. My Uncle Robert Henry gave me a different speech on, this is how it's going to work. You're going into the military, you're going to find a family there. You're going into the military, and there's a good chance you won't come home. Once you get through boot camp, once you get deployed, there's a good chance you won't come home. God protect you. God be with you. And I'm with you in spirit. So whenever you need something, and once you get established, here's my number. My Uncle David, same way. Some other stuff in there, he cusses a lot more than my Uncle Robert Henry. My Uncle Robert Henry served in Vietnam. My Uncle David served in Iraq and Desert Storm. My uncles that went into the Navy, my Uncle Sam served in Vietnam. My Uncle Wendell, who I'm no longer speaking with at the moment, he served on a ship, but he didn't serve in wartime, I think. I'm not going to swear to that because I'm not him and I don't care. But the point of the matter is, that's like 4 uncles that serve so I wouldn't have to serve. And what's the first damn thing I do? I go serve. And yes, they did try to talk me out of it because of my personality. Let's see, when I got in there, I left my personality at the door. Because my Uncle Robert and my Uncle David told me 2 things that was important. 2 things. I'm going to tell this to you for anybody watching who intends on going to be a soldier. And don't you take this with a grain of salt. you take this for what it is, because it's the truth. Eyes open, mouth shut. Don't do anything that they don't tell you to do, and don't volunteer for shit they tell you to do, because you might regret volunteering. So don't volunteer. Now, when I got down there, I learned that sometimes volunteering isn't a bad thing, because I sat at Fort Benning, Georgia, for processing for 3 weeks, doing nothing except this. We're in class, and the only way out of class, other than the bathroom and chow hall, is volunteer. To go do police call, to go clean vehicles, to get fresh air, you must volunteer. And I didn't volunteer. I didn't volunteer at all for those 3 weeks of processing. I didn't volunteer. You're only supposed to be there like a week and a day, because that gives you your shots, your uniform, and your boots, and everything that's necessity for your first week and a day. Well, we were there for 3 weeks because they didn't have any place for us. And I started off as 11 Oscar. And then I wound up being 11 Bravo. And I went from Bravo to Delta to Golf. Excuse me. I went from Bravo to Golf to Delta and back to Golf. Alright. So here's what happened. I failed to qualify with my rifle. So I got an honorable discharge from being a Delta. Now, the only thing that really stopped all that shit was an act of God, because the one day that I could have qualified, because there was no way I couldn't, because I had over 400 rounds in my magazines. I had full rounds, because you're only supposed to have 50. I had 100 rounds in every magazine, so I had over 400 rounds. I had like 6 magazines, and all the magazines held 100 rounds, but you were only allowed 50 in the field. And my boy, I love you, he said, you're going to pass today. The only thing that can stop you is an act of God. Had he not said that, everything probably would have went over smoothly. So I got down range, I posted up, I laid in a prone position, and as soon as we got ready to shoot, and you gotta click your rifle or whatever, so that you can shoot your M4, lightning went across the sky, and the heavens opened up, and it started raining. And I had to give him my ammo back, because he said, bring this shit back to me so nobody can know how much ammo you actually have. Because he was going to make sure I qualified, because we were probably going to be stationed together, because he was also a nasty girl. So, I got to say, man, you jinxed me. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's like, yeah, man. I was like, this is just fucked up. So it started raining, and Drill Sergeant Jackson wouldn't let us go out and shoot in the rain, because your gun is 90% metal. So if you get struck by lightning, it's kind of on the drill sergeant's head. So we don't want that. And then the next couple of days after that, it just wasn't going to happen. And my rifle jammed, and I cleared the jam and then put an empty fucking mag in, and time ran out. And the drill sergeants and them, they were like, we're going to try everything we can to get you back down here. But then they found out that they couldn't, because it was my second or third restart. Because I wasn't trying to leave. I asked for a fourth restart, and it's like, nah, we can't do that, man. I was like, what? He said, bullets and beans, because look, I have nowhere to go. I need to be here. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. I do not want to go home babysitting kids that my dick didn't create. I don't want to go home. Now, when you are a grown man at 37 and you are crying to your drill sergeant and your commanding officer to keep your ass in the Army, that was me. I was crying. I was asking Drill Sergeant Borge, because he was about to be transferred to Korea. I was like, look, dude, you're in charge, man. Can't you pull something to keep me in Delta? Day one restart. Send me somewhere. Let me start over. It's like, man, bullets and beans cost money, man. You going home. It's like, look, I had to go to sick call because of my leg. Can't you, like, pull some strings to get me further down range so we can keep me and keep going? He's like, sorry, man, I'm sorry. I know you want to be here. I can see it in your eyes. You're tearing up and you don't want to go home because the Army is all you've got and you got to go. It's like, you report to golf in 2 weeks. You're done. It's like, no, I don't want to go home, man. Something you can do, something you can do, something you can do. Nope, nothing I can do, son. You're going home. So when I hear shit that the president said about soldiers being losers and suckers, some of us are in the military because we have nothing. Understand that. And Mr. Pence, you have 2 sons that are serving. understand that some of us are in the military because we have nothing and are suckers and losers that are dying for this asshat, red-headed stepson to run the country. If you are a soldier and you are voting for someone who has not served, and talk about soldiers like John McCain, who was a POW, and he goes, oh, well, I don't like him. He got caught. He's not a good soldier because he got caught. Okay, look, dude, this is how war works. If you quit and you survive and you are a prisoner of war, you're still a fucking hero because you fought when no one else would until you couldn't. And if you aren't a soldier and you're watching this and you don't support the military, think about how good you have it when you wake up in the morning and you get up, put on your suit and tie, you go do your job. When 20% of us who get the fuck out of the military can't fucking get arrested getting a fucking job. You think about that shit while your president's calling us losers and suckers when we can't even get a damn job. We can't get fucking health insurance. We can't get fucking money that we should have for fucking serving. When some of us don't even get $150 fucking a month from the fucking military. So when you're sitting here calling us soldiers, suckers, and losers and shit like that, you think about the soldiers that are dying for your dumbass to be able to eat a fucking damn bagel in the morning. Oh, let me butter up my bagel. I go to my white collar job that no soldier can get. Let me butter up my bagel. Let me get my cup of coffee when I know a soldier is out there in a foreign country dying for me to drink Juan Valdez's coffee. Or Folgers. Or Maxwell House. Because it gets to the last fucking drop. That was not just an advertisement. That's a fucking fact. I don't really drink coffee. I had a bad experience. I prefer tea. But either way, there's still a soldier out there dying so that I can drink that fucking tea. There is a soldier out there, my bros, my sisters, out there from Fort Benning, Georgia. TB. Other guys I'm not going to name, but TB, he's one of the ones who really followed me around in Bravo that gave me fucking strength. Pee Wee, I know you probably didn't go back to the military, but, you know, that ginger guy, you know, I had a lot of enemies in Bravo, but I had a lot more friends than enemies in Bravo. And I had a fuck ton of friends and family in Delta. Now, Fusco and Low, my brothers from Bravo, who re-upped, you know. It's a lot of soldiers out here that deserve better than Trump as president. You know, you guys got to do better than that for our soldiers. You really do. Now, I got a new hip, courtesy of infantry. Didn't get to serve the way I wanted. Didn't want to stop serving. But I'm home. Got no money. Got no health insurance. Military hospital takes care of me. But, you know, if it's an emergency, I could die trying to get to the military hospital because I can't afford fucking health insurance. I want you guys to think about that shit when you're making this food. I will make a part 3. But the view is on right now. So, hang on. Plus I gotta set up for class.